to use a 15-cent NFC tag to automate your smart home, and more part 2.
Hi. You guys seem to really like these NFC tag videos, so what we're going to do is build on the last video where I showed you how to do the basics and start learning how to do more complex automations where when you tap this tag, we're controlling our smart home and using conditional rules to tell what happens. Before we do that, I'm going to dive into a few quick questions and answers because you guys had 3 or 4 questions that were popping up a lot about how these things work, so let's dive into those first. So one of the major concerns you guys had about these things is the security of them and whether they could be hacked. Great concern, especially when I showed you that I have one controlling my front door. Sometimes that's a concern, but the way that we're using NFC tags in this case, it's not at all. The way that we're leveraging them here is we're putting all the logic of what to do on our phone, and all the tag is just a string of numbers that it reads and execute it when it does it. So this tag might be number 001. All the phone knows is if I see 001, do all these things. If another phone scans it that doesn't have access and wasn't programmed with those permissions, nothing's going to happen. So the second one that people ask, which is very related, is can I share this with my family if I have multiple phones? What if I get a new phone? So in theory, if you have a second phone, it won't work. But luckily in the Siri Shortcuts app that I showed you, they make it really easy to share over automations to other people. So basically what you do is you'd create the automation for your thing to happen, whether that's set a timer, open a door, whatever. You'd share that to the respective people that you want to be able to scan the tag. And then just like that, they'd have access to the same setups that you did. All right, and lastly, the slew of comments of people asking if this will work with Google Home, if this will work with Android, if this will work with that. I focus on Apple. You'll see in my future videos the importance of setting up a smart home ecosystem that's all under one roof and all controlled in one place. This type of stuff is the reason why. There definitely is ways to execute those things, and I'm going to dig into that. If you guys are Google Home users, Android users, Alexa users, and you've done these before, feel free to drop it in the comments because I am going to be digging into that and doing tutorials on how to do this same thing on all different devices and smart home setups. But you're just going to be patient with me and give me some time. All right, lastly, if you want to buy one of these tags, the link is in the bio for all the products I'm talking about. I put it in the last video, but a bunch of you still asked, so I'm going to put it in this video again too. All right, so here we are back on the iPhone. If you haven't seen my last video, please watch it or else you won't understand any of this. So we're going to go back into Siri Shortcuts and make a new automation, create personal automation, same as before, NFC, and we're going to scan our tag on the blinds, done, and we're just going to name it left blind. Again, doesn't really matter. This is just for organization purposes. Go through. Now this is when the fun starts. So what we're going to have to do first here is read the state of the blinds. And you could read any smart device here. So we're going to type get state, get the state of my condo, which is what I have my smart home named. And we're going to select the accessory that we want to read. We want to learn what state the blinds are currently in. So what we want to do is get the left position of the blind, basically whether it's open or closed. It's a value of 1 to 100. Now we want to put in an if statement that lets us say if the blind is open. So we're going to say if current position of the blind is open, which is 100%. And mind you, we could do this with blinds. You could do if a light is on or off, if something is open or closed, whatever. So we're going to say if the blind is open, we're going to set the state of my condo. So we're going to set one of the smart home devices. What we're going to do is drag it up under the if statement, not otherwise, up a little bit more. There you go. So if the blinds are open, we want to control the blinds and we want to make them closed. So tap it, there you go, blinds closed. So if the blinds are open, close them. Otherwise, if they're not open, they're going to be closed. We want to open them. So if the blinds are at 100%, open them. And then we're going to drag under the otherwise statement, otherwise close the blinds. Pretty simple. You could use this if and logic pretty much infinitely with so many sensors, devices, all that type of stuff. It really opens up a whole bunch of different opportunities in your smart home. Hopefully this gives you a rough idea on how. I thought this blind example was a good one. Just going to click next at the top right. Now it's done. We're going to turn off ask before running like before. And then it's done. Let's go see it in action. So if you remember, what we told it is if the blind is open, if it's at 100%, we want it to tell the blind to close. So let's go over there and tap it and see what happens. Just gonna give it a second, and there it goes. All right, so that was the basis of a more complicated NFC tag automation. I hope you guys are able to follow along. It gets a little bit more complex there, and we're doing if-and statements that border lines on the edge of coding. But if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll keep answering questions on these little NFC tags and make another video if warranted, but I got a lot more cool stuff to show you, so keep looking out for those. Thanks, guys.